Welcome back to Wise and Well, presented by Community Memorial Healthcare. I'm your host, Maggie McKay. Have you ever wondered how Community Memorial brings the patient voice into the way we provide care, operate our facilities, or guide our quality improvement projects? Today, we're pulling back the curtain on a group that helps make that happen, the Patient and Family Advisory Council, or PFAC. Joining us are Giselle Gillmon, Patient Experience Coordinator, and Cassandra McCambridge, one of our dedicated Patient Family Advisory Council members. Thank you both for being here.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Giselle, to start, can you give us a simple overview? What exactly is the Patient Family Advisory Council, and what's its core purpose here at Community Memorial?
It's a great question. The Patient and Family Advisory Council consists of a group of patients and family members that work together to make sure that our patients have a good experience. And they also represent the patient's perspective. They come from various backgrounds as far as health and health illness, as well as representing family members that have been patients in the past as well.
How does the PFAC ensure that patient experience remains at the center of the organization's decision-making?
They are a wonderful group to share initiatives with, as far as wondering how does this affect a patient or a family member, considering health literacy, as far as is this being shared? Are we educating our patients in a plain language? And also just really reminding us of why we're here.
Do you have an example of a project where PFAC input led to an improvement?
Yes, we sometimes receive grievances and complaints. And so I will share those with the group. And then together we will brainstorm. We brainstormed on one related to the importance of making sure we monitor and care for our patients' lost items and belongings. They've weighed in on that, and that's been a big improvement for our organization.
And when we talk about patient experience, what does that really mean? How would you describe it to someone outside of healthcare?
I really consider it to be everything across our healthcare organization. It could be the website that we have, calling to scheduling appointments, the way we greet our patients, from the hospitals to the clinics, and everything in between.
And Cassandra, what are some of the main elements that go into creating a positive patient experience, both inside and outside of the hospital setting?
I would say there's one key main element, and that's good communication. Good communication is essential between the patients, the loved ones, or family members that are involved in the care plan, and all the instrumental staff members involved, the doctors, registered dietitians, social workers, and such. I think probably the grievances that Giselle mentioned, every single one of those examples could have been solved with good communication.
Giselle, how does the PFAC take those real-world patient experiences and turn them into actionable change within the healthcare system?
I have a really good example of that. So we had during COVID a lullaby chime that was played during the birth of any baby. So it would symbolize a baby being born. Now, unfortunately, that also has the potential of being a trauma trigger for a patient that has had a loss. And so we removed that chime for quite some time. But after reviewing that initiative with the PFAC, we decided that we would like to reinstate some sort of chime, although make it a neutral chime so that it's not so upsetting for patients, but it's also a reminder to staff to let them know that a baby's been born, and we're in the process of doing that.
I love that. And the PFAC charter highlights the importance of representing our diverse patient population and community. Why is diversity of perspective so essential to meaningful improvement in healthcare?
So we want the PFAC to be representative of our community, such as different ethnicities, beliefs, and backgrounds. We believe that a successful PFAC would be and should be representative of the surrounding community that it's representing.
Cassandra, what inspired you personally to get involved as a patient family advisor for Community Memorial?
Yeah, so I have a family member that suffers from severe psychiatric illnesses, and I've seen a disconnect between her needs and the care she receives at hospitals, specifically emergency departments. So I wanted to be an advocate for people like her and anyone else who feels that their voice isn't heard in medical settings.
Good for you. I mean, you actually are doing something about it. That's great. What's the most rewarding part of knowing that your voice and your experience is helping to shape care for future patients?
Well, being a patient or the family member of a patient is one of the most vulnerable things a person can go through. I think we could all agree on that because there's just so much out of your control and oftentimes a big gap in understanding of what's happening. So I think the most rewarding aspect of PFAC and volunteering alongside others with this mindset is knowing that the community at CMH understands this vulnerability and is actively working to find ways to decrease the impact of the discomfort it brings through PFAC.
It sounds like such a thoughtful group and program. I don't know if every hospital has that kind of a program, do they?
We're lucky that we do have one. And it is a growing movement. So we are seeing that other organizations are starting to form their own PFAC. We're really lucky as we're a relatively smaller organization that we have such wonderful leadership support to make sure that we keep moving forward and maybe even in the future have multiple PFACs for various units within our organization, such as a PFAC for our clinics dedicated to our clinics or a PFAC dedicated to our mother baby unit or our NICU unit. So we're hopeful.
Giselle, how does including a PFAC member ultimately benefit a departmental team or project, even if it requires a little more extra time or coordination?
Including the patient perspective, I think, is just a win-win all around. Including patients and family members leads to better communication, better patient safety, better patient satisfaction, and ultimately a better experience for everyone. They really can offer a fresh perspective that we didn't consider, and they remind us why we're here, which is ultimately to provide excellent care for our patients. And our patients could go anywhere, so it really means a lot to us that our patients trust us with their health and their care.
And Cassandra, if you could talk directly to the nurses, doctors, and operational leaders at Community Memorial or any healthcare system, what's the one message you would want them to know about the value of the patient perspective?
Yeah, so it's a tough question. It's a lot of pressure on that question. But if I had to say one thing, it would be at the end of the day, we can all agree that we want what's best for patients and for all of us. And as healthcare clinicians and leaders at CMH, we know that you chose a life of service to your community, which is very honorable. So to make that service a bit easier, that's where the value of patient perspective comes in. The idea is let us help you help us. And I think the best way to do that is to listen to the people that you're caring for.
Giselle, where can people learn more or get involved themselves?
People can learn more by visiting the MyCMH website, so www.mycmh.org. And we always are open and welcome to different perspectives, having more involvement, open for applicants to become one of our PFAC members. And if so, I would love for them to contact me directly. My phone number is area code 805-948-5337, or they can contact me via email as well at vgillmon@mycmh.org.
Awesome. Thank you both for sharing your expertise. We really appreciate your time.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Absolutely. Again, that's Giselle Gillmon and Cassandra McCambridge. If you found this podcast helpful, please share it on your social channels and check out our entire podcast library for topics of interest to you. I'm Maggie McKay. Thanks for listening to Wise and Well, presented by Community Memorial Healthcare.